There's a lot of NBA news going on right now. You have the possibility, per Shams, of LeBron James leaving the Lakers. You also have Shams saying that Giannis is over this whole thing going on in Milwaukee. He literally cussed out his teammates. The tension is rising. Who knows? Could the Lakers trade LeBron James? Think about it. Giannis could ask out. There's 2 weeks left before the NBA trade deadline. When is Giannis going to ask out? However, he also got hurt last night. So is it worth investing into Giannis when he keeps having all these calf injuries? But let's get into the video.
Performances and just the level of the air. And his comments after the game, the frustration that Giannis Antetokounmpo has is at an all-time high. He's frustrated with the losing. He's frustrated with the situation. And I will say this, I've spoken to about a dozen sources on and off for weeks now. And the tension that's in the air within that organization, in that locker room, it's at an all-time high. And there's a somewhat of a splintering environment that we're seeing going on there, because when a player of Giannis's caliber is maybe has a wandering eye, or maybe doesn't know what his future holds there, and is having these intense conversations with the organization about what that looks like, there's going to be such high levels and degrees of uncertainty within that organization. And all of this is to me, it's been going on all year, but I just think back to the summer. Late July, Giannis Antetokounmpo and the Bucks general manager, John Horst, are meeting face to face. And John Horst is in the Bucks, and Doc Rivers and ownership, they're selling Giannis Antetokounmpo and competing for a championship. Like, we have a title contending roster. And Giannis makes it very clear that he has concerns, he has issues with the roster, that he maybe doesn't believe that this is a truly contending teams, and that leads to conversations with the Knicks. That's a preferred destination that he had in the offseason. Those two teams spoke. There were offers made. Obviously, there was no deal that happened. The Bucks end up signing his brother Thanasis. He ends up committing to the season, and he ends up starting the year there. And so everything about Giannis's brand has been loyalty. He spent 13 years in Milwaukee. It's clear he loves the city. He loves the organization. But what I've been hearing over and over for months now is that the writing is on the wall for Giannis and the Bucks.
I already know that Giannis is going to ask out. There's no way that he stays there long term, especially when it gets to him beefing with the organization or him beefing with his teammates. Once it really gets to that point, it's over. There's really nothing that you can do. Honestly, Giannis is just waiting for the Milwaukee Bucks to approach him and said, listen, you're right, this is not working out. We're going to trade you. He wants them to initiate it. He does not want to be the bad guy, which I don't understand why, because he already came out and said he is fine with being the villain. He doesn't care if the home fans boo him. If the Bucks fans want to boo him, he said all it does is motivate him to go harder. We already know Giannis. Giannis doesn't care. As long as he's playing basketball and winning championships and actually being able to have that opportunity, that's all he cares about. And that's exactly what he told us already. Now, last night, Giannis tells the media post-game that he has a right calf strain, and then he is expected to miss 4 to 6 weeks, and the MRI is on Saturday. My biggest concern when it comes to Giannis, remember, he's a very athletic guy, dunking on people, very aggressive, bulldozing people in the paint. He's had multiple calf injuries. Multiple. Every single year he's hurt too around this time or the playoffs. Do you guys think, as a Miami Heat fan, is it worth giving up assets to go get Giannis, knowing that he has lower body injuries, knowing that he pretty much has a lot of calf strains? And we have to really think, whenever you have calf issues and calf strains, you can tear your ACL. That's what happened to all these players right now. Like, when you look at the Pacers with Hallie, when you look at Dame, when you look at Tatum, they were all complaining for calf strains and calf problems and calf issues prior to them tearing their ACL. And I understand that Giannis is still young at 31 years old, but his game is heavily dependent on athleticism and that bully ball mentality. And if your legs aren't strong, if you have all these calf strains, that is not a good sign. That means that he should be resting right now. When you look at all the players that have torn their ACL, they were dealing with calf strains and calf issues, and their legs pretty much falling up from underneath them prior to them tearing their ACL. And all I'm saying is, Miami Heat fans, these are the things we need to think about before you're willing to just mortgage everything with picks and assets and young players. You have to make these proper decisions and don't just say go all in. I am very concerned about that calf strain.
After the MRI, they will tell me probably I popped something in my calf, one of my shoulders or something. They'll probably give me a protocol of 4 to 6 weeks that I'll be out. This is from my experience being around the NBA. After that, I'm going to work my butt off to come back. That will probably be end of February, beginning of March. Hopefully the team in the place that we can at least make the play or make the playoffs. And just take it day by day, try to get better.
This is exactly why I tell you guys the Miami Heat have a lot of decisions to make. When are they going to trade Andrew Wiggins for that first-round pick? Is he going to go to Golden State and you get a first-round pick and Jonathan Kuminga? Or could you trade him to the Lakers to get a first-round pick, Rui or Dalton Connect? I want to know, what is the Miami Heat planning on doing, because that's how you're going to structure these trades. If, let's say, Giannis asks out, you already know everyone and their mom is going to be available trying to go get him. That's fine. But obviously, there's only a few teams, especially with all these cap space rules, there's only a few teams that can logistically get him. And then also, to think about it, Giannis is a top 5 talent, top 10 talent in the NBA. They are not going to send Giannis somewhere where he does not want to go. The NBA doesn't work like that, especially when you're one of the best players in the NBA. The Greek Freak, they are not going to send him somewhere he doesn't want to go. So honestly, the Miami Heat, they do have a shot. I don't care what anyone says. I think it's a possibility. That is why they need to trade Andrew Wiggins for that first-round pick. Are they planning to keep Tyler Hero, or are they going to pay Norman Powell that extension? If you're not going to pay Norman Powell, you trade Norman Powell as well for another first-round pick. The Miami Heat could be looking at 6 first-round picks if they make this right decision. Also, too, I am still waiting on Adam Silver to dissolve this whole situation with Terry Rozier. They owe us a first-round pick. And could you imagine, and I don't think it's going to happen by any means, but could you imagine if they gave us our pick back? That's 7 first-round picks with a bunch of young guys. So that's why I tell Miami Heat fans, is it possible? Yes. Is it likely? I don't know. We still don't really know where Giannis wants to go. Yeah, he wants to go to New York, but nobody wants to take Cat's $200 million contract. Nobody wants a zesty, fruity center by any means, especially at that type of contract. And what else? Are you going to really go get OG? Why would the Milwaukee Bucks want all that salary on their books? It makes no sense. They're going to be tanking. And I can still understand why they wouldn't want Tyler Hero potentially, because you also have to pay him within the next 2 years as well. But I still think a Milwaukee native and Tyler Hero, then like I said, they're going to probably offer up Khalil Ware, multiple first-round picks. What are the Miami Heat planning on doing? That's huge. I know they're waiting on Giannis, but you got to have a plan B. You got to have a plan C. I wouldn't mind Jonathan Kuminga on this Miami Heat team. A guy who's under 25 years old, a load of potential, but these are the moves and these are the chess pieces that the Miami Heat need to move around just in case. Because if Giannis doesn't ask out, let's say he pushes this off into the offseason, that's not good either. Because then you're going to have other teams that are going to have more assets available, more things at their disposal to trade.
Now, I feel much better about the Knicks' chances at getting Giannis now, with all things considered.
Now we'll see. Miami's going to have more picks available. You know, you got Khalil Ware, you got Milwaukee native Tyler Hero. They could try to make some things happen.
Now, the Lakers, they've been in turmoil for a while. So Shams is already saying that the relationship with LeBron James and the Lakers is coming to an end. That's very interesting that Jeanie Buss and him are beefing. It really always ends that way. It ended like that in Cleveland, in Miami, and of course now in LA. Mind you, there has not been a farewell tour yet for LeBron. I still think he has one more year left. There's no way he's going to retire without the farewell tour, making a lot of money, boosting it up. Obviously, he's going to go out with a bang. He's not just going to just disappear on a losing season, especially. And then you also have J.J. Redick pretty much saying that the reason why the Lakers are struggling is because guys are worried about their futures. They're trying to get paid. Are they going to be traded? So there's a lot of things right now going on. Obviously, Luka is the main priority, and the Lakers are going to do everything that they can to build around Luka now. LeBron James is already out of there. My question is, where does LeBron James plan to go next? That's the biggest question. Could it be with Stephen Curry? Could it be going back to Cleveland? Could it be going back to the Miami Heat? Could the Lakers trade him at the NBA trade deadline? There's a lot of things going on right now in the NBA. The entire NBA is waiting on Giannis. Now we know that the Lakers are pretty much done with LeBron James. Where is his next team going to be? Where is the farewell tour going to happen?
But the reality is here, what we're having right now, this is an end of a relationship, right? In terms of LeBron James and the Lakers. Now, whether it comes at the end of this season, if LeBron James decides as a free agent to sign somewhere else, or if he decides to retire, or he decides to come back for one more year and, decide that he wants to retire as a Laker. Like, the end is near with this relationship, either however you want to slice it. And so the end, there's always seems to be some sort of storyline with that, and it can be unceremonious at different points. We've seen fallouts the Lakers have had, whether it's Jerry West, rest in peace. He had a falling out with Jeannie Buss to an extent, and so at the end of the day, I think LeBron James, when he made his comments last night, he was very succinct. I mean, he's someone who's 41 years old. He spends most of his time playing golf. I don't think he cares much for really anything that goes on with basketball, other than him playing in games and trying to win on a nightly basis. I think he's got other things on his mind right now. That's the reality of the situation.
But my questions still remain. Is Giannis worth trading for, knowing that he has multiple calf injuries or multiple calf strains per season? He's always getting hurt around this time going into the playoffs, or a little bit further, definitely after the All-Star break. But remember, he's been out, missing time. Even in the playoffs, he's missed time with lower body injuries. These are the things we also have to think about, because like I said, every player that has torn their ACL prior to that, they had major calf strains, major calf issues. And then like I said about LeBron James, where does he plan to go? Because if this relationship is really done, where is he going next?